back in retrospect is the fact they kept him out for a year.
And they stuck with him, too. They knew at the point that all this was going down last year that they were going to give him a shot.
As opposed to the Scott Skiles situation where they threw him in a uniform and allowed him to perform this year. I think Jimmy Valvano, who could have definitely used Washburn last year if he so desired, sent him to the sideline, let him earn the right to put a uniform on. Something Skiles hasn't done up at Michigan State.
We're going from Raleigh on down to Gainesville in the SEC to resume the debate. Who's got the best backcourt in the country? Florida has their chance to be an advocate for their position with Moulton and Maxwell, the top scorers around the country.
This weekend, I'm seeing Rumba. I got the Camaro. I'm seeing the folks, so I got a Chevette. My sister's in town this weekend with their kids.
You need a big car.
For just the right car, ask National for their low weekend rates, starting as low as $21.95 a day for an economy car like the Chevrolet Chevette.
For my class reunion, the Cadillac.
Weekends, it pays to get national attention.
Tuesday, join ESPN for exclusive live coverage of the NHL's All-Star Spectacular. The coaches know their dream teams have the ammunition to make this the highest-scoring shootout in history. The NHL All-Star Game, live Tuesday, only on ESPN. Tuesday, catch a rematch between two of the nation's top teams. North Carolina meets Georgia Tech right after the NHL All-Star Game. Tuesday.
You want a TV? We've got TVs. Little TVs, big TVs, stereo TVs. Hey, wait. Color TVs.
Before you buy any TV, here's how to cut through the sales talk and buy smart.
I'm going to save you big bucks on your new car. Not 200, not 300, not 400.
Before you get talked into any car, get the facts in your free Consumer Reports 1986 buying guide issue. Call now to get your copy, along with the Medicine Show, both free with your paid subscription to Consumer Reports, the magazine smart consumers turn to. Consumer Reports gives you the inside story on products and services, with ratings charts that show you how they performed and how they compared. Whether you're shopping for great sound or a sound investment, you can trust Consumer Reports. Call toll-free to receive 11 regular issues, plus your 2 free gifts. And as part of your subscription, the 1987 buying guide issue when published, all for just $16.
Call 1-800-544-1000. Like a lot of teams in the SEC, Florida playing follow the leader behind Kentucky at this point, but Florida's strength is out of its backcourt. Vernon Maxwell and Andrew Moulton, whose names may not be mentioned in the same breath with a lot of other great backcourts, but down in Tallahassee and down in Gainesville and all throughout the entire state of Florida, they're very proud of this backcourt. Tom East has a look.
This is the year of the guard in college basketball. At Duke, you've got Johnny Dawkins and Tommy Amaker. At North Carolina, you have Steve Hale and Kenny Smith. And at Florida, you have Andrew Moulton and Vernon Maxwell. That's right, I said at Florida. You may not have heard all that much about Moulton and Maxwell, but fans in the SEC know them well. And Gator coach Norm Sloan isn't afraid to go to war with them either.
They're as talented as any college guards in the country. That's a big statement, but I really feel that way. Maxwell is one of the greatest athletes I've ever coached, and I could say basically the same thing about Andrew.
Andrew Moulton and Vernon Maxwell are both averaging in double figures offensively. They have to, because the Florida Gators have no one over 6'7" in the starting lineup. But it's defense where the M&M boys grab the headlines.
We just go out and play real hard on defense. That's what our scheme of play is based on, just going out playing real hard defense. And I think when we do that, we make things happen for ourselves on offense. And we pretty much know what each other's going to do on the court, so it's easier that way.
We stress defense here, and we try to make things happen on defense so we can convert easy baskets on the offensive end. And guys like Johnny Dawkins and Amaker of Duke, they're great players, and we just need a chance to get to play against them.
But really now, it must get frustrating playing your heart out night after night and getting little or no national attention.
We have an uphill battle here in that we're going to have to go out and win the conference championship and advance in the NCAAs, and we're going to have to do it more than once to finally get people to take a look here and say, hey, Florida's got some good basketball too.
When you think of the University of Florida Gators, the first thing that comes to mind is great college football. But over the last couple of years, the Gators have started making some noise in basketball. Evidence their 2 wins over Kentucky last year and an NIT bid. And their 2 primary noisemakers are Vernon Maxwell and Andrew Moulton. Reporting from Gainesville, Florida, I'm Tom Mees for the College Basketball Report.
Thanks, Tom. I mentioned Tallahassee. They're looking for a coach, but in Gainesville, they're not looking for a backcourt. They have got a backcourt. Well, look at those numbers between them, 37 points a game.
Bob, they got a great backcourt, and they're going to get a tremendous front court next year. They got the D&D boys coming. Dwayne Shintzis, 7'1", a shot blocker and a dominant player, and Dwayne Davis at about 6'7", a great jumper. Those 2 kids are really exciting. I was down here this past weekend, and I'll tell you something. Moulton and Maxwell can play with any tandem in America. They just do not have enough help across the front. But they're very exciting players, and they isolate them. Norman Sloan does a great job to get them involved with the offense on a regular basis.
Well, things are on the uptick, certainly in Gainesville, but that was not the case until